Hey everybody, this is Lance the Elfson teacher. This video I'm going to go over some of the highlights of The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. I recently read this a few weeks ago and it's a really good book. It shows a lot of thought processes on how to deal with money that are not necessarily completely optimized. A lot of it has to do with how you feel about it. So we're going to go over this and tie it into the income ETFs in the previous video I did and how they could be very beneficial for my particular standpoint. So, slide two, core message. Big idea is financial success is driven by behavior, not intelligence. Emotions matter more than formulas. Patience and discipline outperform skill. And how you act with money matters more than what you know. So emotions matter more than formulas. If you buy SPY and compare it to a 0DTE covered call ETF on SPY, the just SPY will probably beat it out in the long run with total returns. However, emotions matter more than formulas. By adding more into the income ETFs, I'm able to get more of the emotional side of getting a passive income, growing my cash flow, and then over time could be more beneficial than necessarily losing like 1% or so on your account. Slide three, the power of compounding. Time beats timing. Small returns over long periods create massive growth, and compounding requires patience, consistency, staying ahead. And the biggest factor is time in the market. So by adding into these income ETFs, I'm able to get a lot of compounding. It's showing the patience of being okay when you have a market drop because your cash flow is coming in, dripping most of those dividends as well for distributions and getting more shares. And then you could stay invested and be more motivated to stay in it. Slide four, luck and risk. Success isn't always a skill. Luck does play a bigger role than we admit. Risk is always present even when unseen. Learn from others, but don't blindly copy and always leave room for error. So, luck does play a bigger role than we admit. You might happen to be investing in a really big upturn bull market, or you might be investing in a bear market. And there's not much you can necessarily do about when your market actually gets a bull or bear market. Be aware of the risk. Risk is always present, even when unseen. You want to stay pretty well diversified in many different asset classes, just so you're able to weather the storms and downturns. Save for freedom. Saving does equal control, gives you options and flexibility. Money buys freedom, not just stuff. And you save to control your future with peace of mind, bigger than necessarily the maximum returns. By having a decent amount in the income ETFs, I do have a little bit greater peace of mind. It won't necessarily be the max returns that I could get. However, knowing that that cash flow is coming in, I'm able to get it. Let me just preface this by saying I don't have all of my account in income ETFs. I have quite a bit in just low cost ETFs as well. And having a little bit of both could kind of lower the blow a little bit on if you're not getting a lot on, say, SPY and you're getting some distributions on the covered call ETFs. Slide six, reasonable beats rational. Sustainable plays win. By buying income ETFs, stripping the dividends, you're seeing that positive psychology of increasing your cash flow. Humans aren't perfectly rational, and emotional comfort does matter. The best strategy is one that you could stick with over long periods of time. If you buy a non-covered call ETF with a low distribution and then you see a downturn, you may not be motivated to continue into it. But by getting these distributions, it does help with the motivation. Personal money stories. Everyone sees money differently. People grow up in different economic environments. And experiences shape risk tolerance, investing, fear, and confidence. One of the keys is no single strategy works for everybody. I'm going to be getting quite a bit in my teacher pension eventually, and then I can amplify that with covered call ETFs. That gives me a lot of peace of mind knowing that I'll have enough money coming in. Slide eight, optimism over time. Bad news spreads faster than good news. Markets do trend upward long term, but short pain is normal, and optimism is rewarded for time. I've been in a Roth IRA for almost 20 years now. I plan on doing another 20 years, and market will most likely trend upward in the very long term. It could be short term pain, but again, having income ETFs could give that motivation to keep going. Playing the long game, avoid catastrophic losses, being diversified, not putting everything into one specific thing with a lot of volatility. Don't chase fast money. Longevity beats brilliance, and staying invested matters more than being right. All right, so some key takeaways here. Behavior matters more than intelligence. Being able to be very smart about what happens in the market is not necessarily going to help compared to the behavior that you act. If you're worried too much about the market dropping and then you decide to sell, selling low, but then you buy when it's much higher, that's not going to necessarily help. Wealth is invisible. You don't want to necessarily show how wealthy you are to a lot of people. People that have the really big houses, big cars, and all that, they might not necessarily be wealthy in the end. Some of the people that are actually wealthy have pretty just standard lifestyles. Compounding needs time. Not able to get super rich right away. I mean, there's a slight chance you could, but it's not going to be very likely, and it's a much better chance of getting better with your account over a long period of time. Saving creates freedom, and stay in the game. I end with this last quote. Doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are, and a lot to do with how you behave. Consider all these slides for possibly getting into some higher yielding funds. Again, it has that psychology of getting that cash flow in. And even if it doesn't necessarily make as much as just a low cost ETF, being able to have that motivation could actually help in the long run. I definitely recommend reading Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. All of his three books that he wrote is really good. And I'll see you guys on the next video.